Kilo Oscar 4 Bravo Victor Bravo.
Copy. Kilo Oscar 4 Bravo Victor Bravo. Is that a roger? Okay, sir. What is the name there, please?
Name is Tony. Tango Oscar November Yankee.
Roger, Tony. Well, gosh, Mother Nature is kind of in spurts. She's up and down. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your antenna system for 10 seconds or so, and I'll look around and see if I can find a better path. Roger?
Roger, Roger. I'm running a ICOM straight out of the box, 100 watts, and I am running a multi-band fan dipole homebrew. That is up about 40.
Roger that. And did you say what radio were you running?
ICOM 7300.
Okay, sir. Yes, sounding good as best as you can under the circumstances. What's your location? I didn't catch that.
Roger, Roger. Location is about 50 miles west of Atlanta, Georgia. Right straight out I-20. Like just about Rock.
Roger, Roger. I just was trying to copy the mail on the Georgia SDR, and there must be an 18-wheeler parked there next to that antenna, because I am getting quite a bit of sounds like motor impulse noise, and it's pretty severe. So I'm not. I have to write the Georgia SDR off at the moment there, Roger.
Roger, 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 Roger. What's your QTH, Roger?
Tony, I'm up around Louisville. I'm just on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, been up that way before. Been up that way. And, yeah, I heard you in there, and I just thought I'd let you hear the radio and see what you thought about it. I'm running a Howe Pro 7 boom mic, and got my compression set to 3. And mic gain is up to it's running about 40 right now, Roger.
Roger. How's your ALC looking?
ALC is mid to almost full, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Now, what you might want to do on that headset boom mic is take it straight out as far as it will go, and then at the last minute do your 90. Towards your voice, but you take it out just as far as it will go, straight as far as it'll go, and then bend for that 90. Roger.
Roger, Roger.
Okay, and you might, after you do that, then you might recheck your ALC to be sure that you're still in the ballpark mid-scale to 2/3, because as you work further from the mic, your audio level drops a little bit, so you might want to check that. And the reason that I'm telling you to work that mic a little bit further is I can still hear a lot of transient voice stuff in there, and we want to try to get rid of that. I'm assuming that you are running a foam windscreen on your headset mic. Is that a Roger?
Yes, that's a Roger, Roger.
Okay, what you might want to do, well, let me hear you again. Tell me something about the 7300 that you like the best.
I love the filters that it has available to you to, try to filter out some of this noise. I've been playing with that in the last few days and learning a little bit about it. I tell you what, there's probably a year's worth of study that I could do on this radio itself. There's so many whistles and bells and whistles in it, Roger.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, let me give you some advice there. What I found on that 7300 to run it in the filter 1 position. Filter 1 is as close to not having a filter as possible. It's as wide a band that you're going to get. So I ran in filter 1 position. I did not use noise reduction. I did not use noise blank. a noise blank sometimes can introduce distortion into the received signal. So I didn't use noise blank. I luckily have to. And noise reduction seemed to put a little bit of echo reverb on the guy's audio coming in. So I didn't use that either. But in that filter 1 position, you'll find that receiver is capable, if somebody's transmitting down to 100 cycles in their audio, you'll hear it on the 7300, that far down. Now, maybe you might not hear it exactly inside the radio. What I suggest is that you maybe get that audio outside of that little box and get yourself a speaker system. I can think, I've mentioned before about Walmart. And there's a 2.1 system, and I forget what it is now, LabTech, I think it is, or gosh, hang on just a minute. I can't see what it is, but it's like $32 or something. It gives you 2 satellite speakers plus a subwoofer, and the subwoofer allows you to hear frequencies down around 50 cycles, and those are just beautiful when somebody's transmitting that, because it's just so nice and firm. It's like broadcast 101, Roger.
Well, what kind of signal am I pushing your way today?
Okay, I'm copying you on my local antenna, and you're giving me about 7 over. You're giving me anywhere from 10 over to 7 over on my local antenna. I went around, and I don't have very good copies on my SDRs, so I am on my local antenna. Roger?
Roger. You're really got a good signal in here in Georgia. You're probably 10 over here, Roger.
Roger that. And I think your audio curve is pretty close. I would like to hear you a little bit better than what I'm hearing you to really make comments about the audio. You have to hear that a little cleaner. I am looking at my spectrum analyzer, but when you get down into the noise, the spectrum analyzer, is just showing you all that's there. So in many cases, when you're at only a couple of dB above noise level, you may be looking more at the channel noise than the actual audio modulation noise, Roger, or sound.
Roger that, yeah. The band is so noisy and days, maybe even a week or two, that it's really hard to pull out these weak stations, Robert.
Oh, that's a Roger. Now, also, Tony, I suggest that you run that radio in the 100 to 2900 mode. It has 3 modes, and there's no reason I can think of that you would want to compromise your bandpass, other than just running it at 100 to 2900. Matter of fact, I suggest that you take all 3 of the possibilities and crank in 100 to 2900 on all 3, so you can't possibly run that radio in any other mode. But then what happens is that, say you wanted to work DX, well, if you start reducing the bandpass thinking you're going to get in there better, what happens is that you start taking the top end off of your transmit, and that's vitally important, because in that area is your articulation. So that means that when you start rolling off that top end, by restricting your bandpass, you're restricting your top end audio, and there goes all the articulation that will help you be, to tell what you're saying when you're in massive noise, Roger. That's a Roger. Yeah, I would set all 3 to that, and that way you can't run the radio any other way than that way. I have never seen an actual advantage of running it at less than full tilt as far as the bandpass is concerned. And like I say, if you get to the point and you get some outside monitors where you can really start to hear what's going on as far as what people are transmitting, it's just it just will blow your mind, because you just can't get that sound reproduction inside the 7300. No fault of their own. It's just a matter of fact. There's not enough cubes in that 7300 box to really get down to those lower frequencies. So you got to get that sound out of the 7300 into a nice full range speaker system. Roger?
Roger. Well, I set all three of those to 100 to 2900.
Roger. Now, I just caught your audio pretty much in the clear that time. Looked pretty good. You are running the compressor at a 3, and your ALC is mid-scale to 2/3. Out of Roger?
Roger.
All righty. I think you got it there. I think you got it. The rest is up to Mother Nature and giving you some good propagation. Roger?
Roger. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that when we get some really good propagation. I talked to New Zealand probably about 3-4 days ago, about 11:30 at night, and on 20 meters. And I was just amazed.
Roger, Tony. Well, I think you just faded out there. I think Mother Nature took her revenge. I did lose you there, so I'm assuming that you did fade out. Hopefully, I'm still making the trip to you there, and if so, let me say threes to you. I appreciate you checking in. Roger.
Roger. Thanks for helping me out there. I will listen in, and I'll take a listen to that recording and see what it sounds like. I appreciate you doing this, and I will check back in on next Friday. Qso-4BVB, we're going to be clear.
Roger, Tony. 3's that way, sir. Catch you later. And I'm just trying to bring my Milford PA back on. It had kicked me off after 20 minutes of inattention, and now it will kick me off after a half hour for too much. But anyway, this is KC9VKV listening.